All right, I'm Dr. Andrew Reddick, and today I'm here with Pavant, my TA, for the class Internet of Things. And we're going to do a little introduction here to the labs to help you guys get started and feel comfortable with the labs. So I'll start and I'll basically introduce the lab in each part. Each of these labs we're going to talk about is kind of broken up into two goals. So sometimes I like to talk about them as Lab 1 and Lab 2, or Goal 1 and Goal 2. And then I'll have Pavant talk on his keys that maybe helped him understand the lab and move forward. And so then this can help you guys feel comfortable with these labs. So we're going to start out. And this first one too is kind of there's a lot going on because we're going to talk about this first goal and how to really approach getting into the labs, right? Which is like, what are you going to buy and to actually complete these labs?
Sure.
So the first goal, I'll say here before we start, is basically you want to blink an LED on an embedded device. And so then this starts the ball rolling of, hey, now we've got this first goal and we have to go buy something. So how did you go about this, Pavant, when you did this first lab?
So from your class, I got what's the difference between how do I do it first? So we had microcontrollers and microprocessors.
Right.
On the both, we can do a blink and LED.
Right.
But which is reliable more? It's MCU. So we can do easier tasks for a repeated number of times. So that's where I used an Node MCU. It's called Node Microcontroller Unit. So with that, we could be able to easily do it because it has inbuilt LEDs on it.
Right.
So we need not buy an external LED and put it there.
Right.
Yeah.
But you got a little more complicated. What do most students go with? What's their real basic embedded devices that they like to go after?
They would like to go after Circuit Playground Express, which is pretty good.
Right. The Circuit Playground Express. That's definitely a hot one to go with. Why is that one a big favorite?
Because it has many sensors in it, and it has LED arrays, and it has a lot of fun. We can make so much fun with it. We can make so much fun projects with it.
Yeah. What's the programming language of that one?
So it would be Python, and we use MuPy for its as a software for a laptop.
The development interface.
Yeah,
it's MuPy, right? Yeah. And so if you like. Yeah, that's a big popular one. And then the other big popular choice is Arduino.
Arduino, yeah.
Yeah, so then that's your second one. So if you're not going after Python, you can go after Arduino.
It's in embedded C, so it is pretty easy, and it's an open source, so you get every code in it. So
okay, so you kind of made these choices, and you get this device. Maybe at the bookstore, some of these devices are available, or Amazon or something. Yeah. And you get it in. How did you go about? Did you have to write do most students, do they have to write this code?
No. So you'll have all the examples in it. So when you download the software, you'll have the examples. Or you can look at online how to blink an LED on this particular device.
Wait, so they can copy and paste the code and pass this part?
But yeah, they can. But if you understand, else you will not be able to do the future projects, right? So you need to understand that.
Right. So you just kind of have to understand the code. But the idea here is actually you copy and paste because you're just learning how this process works.
Yeah.
And then you can get a blink LED. It's basically Hello World for embedded devices.
Yeah.
And you're ready to go. All right. So we got that. You get that working. And so you move on to your second goal here is sensor data. So now is this for like a typical student, is this a big step or is this pretty straightforward?
This is also pretty straightforward because buying a sensor, any sensor that gives values and knowing what does it do. So like let's take a photodiode. It changes resistance according to the light that it gets.
Right.
So that it's pretty easy. So we just hook it up with the pins of the Node MCU or microcontroller unit, and you'll get the data. But in the case of Circuit Playground Express, you use something called messages. So it is given in topics, so you can just directly get them.
Right. So this one. If you connect up your sensor, not only do you get the code up here, you can get a diagram that shows you how to connect up the sensor to your Arduino. Now the CircuitPython, which Pavant was talking about there, that one the sensors are already connected. So all you have to do is just copy a little code that says, give me that sensor data back. Then you get it into your development environment on your computer, and you're reading that data. And then you have done both of these goals. And then the next step for this part of this first one is just doing a little documentation. Do you find the documentation hard for lab 1 and 2 here?
No, the documentation is that what you do. I buy this. I install this software. I had copied this code from here, and knowing to understand it, what does this code mean? So you just write up like so in the future, if you want to get it there, so you can just look at the document. Oh, this is what I did. That's how the documentation helps.
Yeah, that's perfect. You're just recording what you did. This seems pretty straightforward. I think you guys got it. This is lab 1 and 2. Here's your goals: blink LED, sensor data. So go ahead and get to it.